can see this, it's already separated. See the clear water in there?
This is what it's going to do in the bag. Water's going to separate, come right out.
With the bag, just have it out on land and let the water go on land.
Yeah, a lot of times what you'll have is
Or maybe there are times where you put the water right back in the lagoon.
a lot of times when they just lay down and get stuff out of it.
See how much better it drains when you have the chemistry in there?
So that was my impression.
It's almost good enough to drink, isn't it?
You can try it. Get rid of it, and then just put the water, put the liquid back in the lagoon.
Plants sometimes, you take the water, sometimes in plants, you take the water back to the.
We'll also in our lab calculate the drainage time per pour, so we can get a lot of good useful information, but you can also see how well this comes right off of the fabric. I mean, that's not even really pushing it, but you can see how it's already drying. You can see the fabric indentations on it there.
So the idea is you got these great big old baggies out there made of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
What do you set it on?
We can lay down a temporary liner, berm it up with straw bales around the sides.
Yeah, so it just drains right back into the cell. Right?
Yeah, in fact,
Yeah, you can have it go by gravity if you have an open end, if you slope it towards it, or you can berm it all up and just stick a
And
pump
we're
in
built
and
on a
pump
mountain,
it.
so the water, you just have it uphill from the deal, it's
Piece
gotta
of
go back
cake.
in.
Yep.
One thing you have to remember on the geotubes is
gotta lay it on level ground.
almost level.
Yeah, it
No
does
more than a
make
0.5 slope.
So would we have like 6 mil poly or something under it? Is that
Yeah,
the idea?
6 mils. Yeah,
Like the
that's fine. Yeah.
straw bales around it?
Yep.
Okay,
So look at how well that's already drying. And
I'm thinking outside the box again, guys.
Because you can't find the box. No way for
If I built me a box and had a polymer like this and we lined the box with it for a means of filtration, and then every so often you have a hold out and put the liner back in, is that
you see what happened here with the spillage on the table?
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens with the box if you over pump it. So you have to
Right.
stop, let it drain down, then pump to it again. With the tubes, you can pump it and the pressure will force the water out.
Right.
So you can probably pump 10 times more to a tube than you can a dewatering box before you have to shut down.
I was thinking of using it for effluent filtration system, you know, for filtering the outflow. And if
For
you,
polishing, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah, polishing would work.
Now we make what you're talking about. We make a tube that goes right in a 30-yard roll-off container. So you can actually fill the tube inside the container, and that is you can haul away.
Yeah, but remember, Dan's looking for the multi-use. He doesn't
use
like
it for-
disposable consumables.
Sure.
So I'm looking at effluent treatment so they can meet permit levels. You're going to have you're going to pick up your phosphates probably in this and any of the other over a period of time.
Right.
And you can meet your nutrient goals. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Just be like filtering your discharge.
Yes, exactly.
Shove that back in the lagoon.
You know, a lot of like water treatment plants. Okay, we pump same their filtrate, basic same thing, clean stuff. Got just a little bit of sand, dirt, stuff in it. We put it right through the bag. Put a chemical with it, make a bind up, and then put it right back either through the system or through the
And so all they'd have to do is add the polymer and whatnot to the effluent, they polish it off, and then they meet the permit level.
On a guesstimate, how many gallons per minute, or what flow rate do you think you could get to go through one of those? You know, if you were discharging from a lagoon.
It's 60 foot circumference by 100 foot, 1,000 gallons per minute.
Okay, so good enough.
We do 10,000 gallons per minute. You just have to, you just manifold 3 or 4 bags together. So
30-yard container. What about a 100?
2 to 300 would be max.
What about your small dredge?
Flows, Isaiah.
The flump is about 1,500 gallons per minute. The rhodamite 6,000, 2,500, I would say.
So we're a little undersized with a 30 cubic yard container.
unless you manifold it, if you
We can have several of them.
4 or 5 of them opened up and going at the same time.
Once this stuff all dries out, like I have to get it 18% in order to,
Paint filtered in
well,
it.
in order for the compost company to receive it.
Yep.
And how manageable is it at 18%?
As far as picking it up the load
Yeah.
truck, it's belt press. Average belt press gets a 16 to 18%.
Okay.
That helps you.
So,
Yeah.
front end loaded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would say this isn't even to 18% yet, and
Oh no.
it's
I mean, if we get it,
manageable
long
already.
term, if we get it to 12%, I mean, we're not, dry as good. If we'll just cover
Right
it.
there, you're probably
Yeah.
10, 12 right
That's
now.
right,
Yeah,
10 to
so we
12
just
within
get to that point.
15
You'll
minutes.
get down in the bag. Longer it sets dry, it's gonna get ready. So I mean, we like to see him sit 30 days at least. That way he's good and dry.
See,
and you know he can pick it up.
there's still a lot of free water in there. You know, over time, that's all going to drain out.
So how do the bags open up so that you can go in and get to the circuit?
You just start at one end, you cut across and start going back, and then just lay it back or cut it off.
Okay, so there's no like zipper or nothing like that. There's no reuse on this stuff.
See, that came out worse before, didn't it?
Google mindset.
Would you believe about 51 other states are the same way?
Well, I'm not the state. I'm the private guy.
Right,
I'm the guy that people write checks to for the solution. So why aren't we making it unzip? Rolls out on the ground. We go over the rubber
We
tire,
tried,
grab it,
yeah.
put it back.
We tried several years ago with some real heavy industrial zippers to take and see if we can make one.
What about lap and lace with grommets? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know where the box is either. Do it in.
The zipper, what we found out with the zippers, as long as you pull them on direct tension on the zipper, it's very strong. But if you've got a little bit of a bias pull on it,
rip
it's like
it.
it's just unzip.
Right.
Like you coat sometimes,
Yeah.
it'll come undone.
Pull it apart.
Right. And then the grommets and lacing and all that, I don't think you get a tight enough seal.
You think it'll leak?
Yeah, you have that. When we sew this, it's sewn together, the fabric is sewn
Just like that.
like this.
double.
It's just a baggie.
Yeah, it's a double stitch, 400-pound seam.
So what about cutting the stitch and then restitching
Yeah,
it?
we'll cut the stitch.
Well, you can cut the stitch, but I doubt you. This is a factory sewn seam,
Right.
and the only way you would sew that back in the field is through a handheld machine. And the seam strength on handheld is probably a third of what it is in the factory.
So it probably wouldn't withstand the
You
pressure.
wouldn't be able to withstand it.
And then when you fill the bags, you're stretching that bag,
Right.
and then your safety factor starts going down fast.
There's a factor of safety built into this thing about 4 to 1. So
Okay.
it's overinflated, and sometimes you have a careless contractor, sometimes that may try to pump more in than what it's supposed to.
No.
All the tubes have a designed pumping height on it.
Okay.
And that factor safety is built into that particular pumping height. So once you reach that height, then that's
So the nuts and bolts of it is, in the industry right now, it's cheaper to build more bags than it is to try to build them to reuse. Thus, the whole purpose of Ziploc freezer. You can reuse them a little bit, but then they're just they fall apart. The seams start coming apart.
We've looked at a number of different ways of trying to reuse them. One was attaching the fabric down one side on a concrete slab and then have some type of frame that would raise it up, clean the slab, put it back down, and try to bolt it back down on the other side and pump back into it. We've yet to come up with a way to get a tight enough seal strong enough bag to reuse.
Well, I don't own stock in your company yet, and so I guess it doesn't really matter if I pass some ideas. But what about you know what I mean when I say a side dumper? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that's got a parabolic bottom, right? And so if you have a parabolic vessel, your hydrostatic pressure is at right angles to the surface of that vessel all the way.
Just takes a little bit
Basically what
longer
we're
than
accomplishing with the
squeeze.
bag, right? So what if we had a corrugate, or like if you had a double wall side dumper, the inner wall has a bunch of holes in it